Good, so you can look around, you can see everybody here, see him, alright, so you can look at everybody out here in Washan Bay. Good. So, shalom, shalom, brothers and sisters, shalom. This is Anayata back again with another prophecy. We talk about some of the things that will befall this kingdom in the near future. Again, what's about to happen around the world is not just limited to the West. I know a lot of times we get caught up in the West because that's going to be the main place where everything goes down. But we're going to link the scriptures to the kingdom of Moab as well. So without further ado, I'd like to just say shalom, brothers and sisters, Anawata, Yahweh Ba'Yishem Yahushua Barakatam, Yahweh Ba'Yishem Yahushua Barakatam, Yahweh Ba'Yishem Yahushua Barakatam. Bahashem Rakakodash. Double honors to all elders of every camp. Peace and love and salutations to all the brothers out there doing the work. Good. So first, let's talk about money and debt, because that's going to be one of the main catalysts that causes these kingdoms around the world to fall, specifically here in the kingdom of Moab. As I spoke of in my videos a week ago, you know, the world economy is like it has never been before, where all economies are intertwined with one another, meaning they are all connected. So whatever happens in one kingdom is going to affect the other kingdoms around the world. Good. So let's jump into it. Leviticus 19:9-10. Good. So Leviticus 19:9-10. And when ye reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not wholly reap the corners of thy field, neither shalt thou gather the gleanings of thy harvest. Exactly. So you're supposed to leave a little something for those that are poor, right? Like, so you don't take everything that is of belonging to you. That's what's caused much of the economic deprivation that you see happening in all these countries around the world, is just the heightened sense of greed, right? I want everything, right? Like as many of you brothers know, many food companies, their policy is to throw out any food that is unsold, or any food that is not bought by the end of the day, or food that they would suspect to be going spoiled within 2 to 3 days or whatever like that. I remember I had a conversation with who was it? This was back when I was in the West, in New York. I had a conversation with one of the cooks at my college, and I asked him. I said, you know, you have all these stacks of like pancakes, eggs, waffles, all this stuff, and you're getting ready to throw it away. How come you just can't give it to me for free if you're going to throw it away? He said, well, you know, if I give it to you and you get sick, then you can sue us and we can get in a lot of trouble. And I said to him, well, wouldn't that be even more so if I bought the food and I get sick? That means that you're selling food that is spoiled or rotten or whatever. Isn't that even more of you getting in trouble? And how much more can I get sick over food that you were just selling not less than 30 seconds ago? Like, what's the difference? You say, well, you know, that's just the policy, blah blah blah. And you know, that's what that basically is a company's way to save money or to reduce shrinkage, right? Instead of just giving it away to the people for free, which would cause us to lose money, we would rather just throw it away. Right? So this is their policy. But this is how Edom has chosen to run the world, which is why it's headed in the direction that it's going right now, and which is why, you know, it's getting ready to fall off a cliff really, really soon, as you can see. Now we see out in Iran, and I'm going to jump into the scripture a little later. We see out in Iran how Trump has conceded, right? And he called for a ceasefire for the next 5 days so that himself and the leaders of Iran can talk about what they can do about opening up the Straits of Hormuz, because we see oil rising, right? But what's going to end up happening out of this is where you're going to see that term peace and safety. And we all know what the scriptures say about peace and safety, right? And I'm going to jump into that scripture a little later. Hopefully, Lord's will, I'm reminded to do so. Moving on. And thou shalt not glean thy vineyard, neither shalt thou gather every grape of thy vineyard. Thou shalt leave them for the poor and stranger. I am the Lord your God. Exactly. So, and again, I see it out here in the land of Moab as well too, right? Like the food that gets thrown away. What ends up happening a lot of times is they end up reusing old food, and people get sick off of it anyway, right? Or when it's time to throw the food away, and they're, quiet as it's kept. They always many Moabites that I talk to say, yeah, we pulled ourselves out of poverty 40 years and blah blah blah. Yeah, but there's still a large faction of the country that is extremely poor, especially when you go out into the rural areas. It's a sad sight to see when you see old grandmothers and old grandfathers digging through garbage, looking for scraps of food, trying to eat over people. Lord knows what diseases these people may have had or what could be in that garbage, but they have no choice, right? As opposed to some of these companies, instead of charging for every damn thing, they can give away some of what they have, especially that which goes unused. One of the things that they do out here in the land of Moab is they charge for everything. Back in the West, in the Bitter Kingdom, they at least there's certain things that are free that you can do without being charged. Like one of the things that really frustrates me, one of the things I love to do is I love playing basketball, right? And I play a lot. I've been playing for many, many years. And one of the things that I've noticed is any court I go to, you have to pay to get on that court, no matter if indoor, outdoors, wherever it is. One of the things that really frustrates me, is that here the government runs most institutions, right? And so back in the West, most institutions are privately ran or whatever. But public services and public municipalities like parks or recreation centers or whatever, those are free to go to a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? But here, where the government is supposed to be in charge of everything, they still charge you every little penny for anything, any service or any nothing is free here in the land of Moab. Nothing is free in the kingdom of Moab. Good. Let's see here. Jump into another scripture talking about this money, this clay, this debt. Leviticus 13. So we can jump down to Leviticus 13. Thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, neither rob him. Yeah, exactly, and that goes on a lot here in the kingdom of Moab. Oftentimes I talk with my students, and you can see when they come into the class by the end of the week, they're just tired. They have nothing else. They're running on fumes, so to speak. And one of the things that's really prevalent out here in the land of Moab is they have the saying Jojo Ryu, or 996, right? The idea of 9 hours, 9 to 9, 6 days a week. Right? Now that's a heavy burden to carry for 6 days, and they do it, but they get paid so little for the amount of output that they're told that they need to yield every day, and they get paid very little for their sacrifice. People have families, people have hobbies that they would like to enjoy, but they can't, and then they're stuck in this loop because the idea is that, well, hey, if you don't want to work 9 to 9, then we'll find somebody else who does. Or if you don't want to work 9 to 9, we will just how can I say? Then we will consider you. We won't consider you for promotion, or we won't consider you a good employee or whatever like that. And one of the common things about the culture here in the land of Moab is this idea of saving face. So nobody wants to be embarrassed, or nobody wants to be shamed publicly, right? So, you know, in your office, if you say, no, I don't want to work overtime, then you are shamed by your boss in front of the rest of your employees or whatever. So, you know, a lot of that goes on, whatever, you know. And so the people, they're caught in a catch-20, or between a rock and a hard place, I would say. Right? Good. So, moving on, let's jump into Habakkuk 2 and 6. Good, good. Oh, actually, you know what? I wasn't finished. Hold on. Salakia, brothers. I wasn't finished with Leviticus. Let me get some more meat off that bone. Salakia. Let's see here. Good. Leviticus 19 to 13, I'm sorry. Yeah, thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, neither rob him, right? Exactly. So, you know, a lot of Moabites, they are being defrauded and robbed by the companies that they work for, you know, for basically, I wouldn't say slave wages or whatever like that, but a lot of times they are not, they're not paid their due right, or their due recompense for the services that they render, and it's really sad. It's really, really sad, because these people, as you know, even though the Most High has judgment against them, you know, these people do work really, really hard. They're very humble people, extremely humble people. But like I told you guys, they're humble on the surface, but when you look in their eyes, you can see a certain level of pride. And matter of fact, that pride, it's not a, how can I say, it's not a pride against people, it's a pride that they have against the Most High, a pride that they have against anything spiritual. So, let's see here, 13, yeah. The wages of him that is hired shall not abide with thee all night until the morning. Yeah, now, one of the things that Moab, the kingdom of Moab, deals heavily in is the idea of censorship. So a lot of things, a lot of uprisings that go on around the kingdom of Moab